What's up guys, C2113 here, and today I'm going to be showing you the warranty, return, and repair process on my CAT S61 rugged smartphone. Okay guys, real quick, before I get into the video, I just want to make this clear. CAT phones did fix my problem by replacing my phone. However, to me, this is still an important oversight on their part. Now, if you remember on my last video where I highlighted the charging issues I was having on my S61, CAT phones actually commented on that video and said, hey, we've checked out a lot of your videos. We appreciate your feedback and your comments and you pointing out both the pros, cons, positive features and drawbacks of our devices. We'd love to get in contact with you, not only fix your problem, but also have a discussion and hear more of your feedback and possible improvements. And I was very excited by this because to think that CAT actually cared enough to comment was great. You know, I felt like finally, you know, the consumer, the customer is going to be able to leave direct feedback for the manufacturer, right? The core company to improve the product. And so I said, sure, here's my email and contact me as soon as possible. I figured it would probably take them a day, maybe two. Well, 3 days later, they still hadn't reached back, so I left another comment. Then it had been over a week and they still hadn't left a comment. Now it's been 2 weeks and not only had they not replied to my comment, they haven't sent me an email or contacted me in any other way. So again, I'm starting to feel like it's an empty gesture and they thought they would pacify me by doing that, and I'm a little upset. Now, if this is a miscommunication, CAT, I'd love to hear from you. You have my email address. Contact me directly. But again, you know, this is disappointing in that respect. But again, they did fix my issue. So that's not what I'm talking about here. It's just that for the future, I'd like to have some input, right? If they, you know, to be able to give some feedback so that future versions of the S61, and I'm guessing maybe S62, okay, are better. Okay, and this goes not just for me, but for all customers. And I think all of us, right, would appreciate that CAT would have a two-way communication with its customers, especially when they say they care about what we have to say about their product. So anyway, on to the video. Now, as I highlighted in a previous video, I experienced some pretty serious charging issues with my CAT S61. So I had contacted CAT's technical support and they had initially had me do some troubleshooting and different tests, but I was pretty convinced none of that would help because it seemed to be a hardware problem. And sure enough, none of those things really helped. And so as a result, I got an RMA number and a shipping label from CAT to send this to a repair facility in Alabama. Now, unfortunately, the footage that I had shot for the whole shipping process somehow disappeared. I can't find it. It's not on the memory card. So being that I still want to make sure that I can show you guys what you need to do to send a phone back for repair or replacement by CAT, we're just gonna act this all out, all right? What you're gonna want to do is get your original box, okay? And also, if you're like me and have a case on your phone, you're gonna want to take the phone out of the case. Obviously, also make sure you remove your SIM card and a memory card, an SD card if you have one, because they may not get that back to you and you don't want any of your data on there. The last step you're gonna do is make sure you back up all your data that's on the phone, and then I just, for security reasons, because all my information's on there, I did a factory reset to wipe the whole phone. So that's what I did, and then after that, I went ahead, put it back in the box, put the box back together, and then I got a sturdy shipping box and I put it in there. Applied the label, dropped it off at UPS. That's pretty much all you have to do to get this phone shipped out. Now check out what it was like when I got the phone back from the repair facility. Alright, so now I've received my package back from Palco Telecom, the warranty service provider that is licensed and contracted by CAT. Here's the box. As you can see, it's considerably larger than the box that the phone came in. So I'm interested to see why they use such a large box. Maybe they're just giving me back my old box as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and open it up. As you can see here, it is coming from Ryan Brown at Palco Telecom. So let's go ahead and crack it open. Yeah, and I haven't opened this at all. All I did was remove the labels with my information on them. Alright, here we go. So it's packaged with a bunch of newspaper and bubble wrap. Again, they replaced the phone. So, let's see what they... Okay, I've got a box here with something in it. And then I've got a box here. So, okay, so this appears to be... Yeah, this is the original box. The box that originally came with my phone. And I'm guessing this is the replacement phone. I don't see anything else in here. Move that to the side. Alright, so this would appear to be the replacement phone. Let's go ahead and get this opened up. Slide it out. And here we go. Alright, there it is. So there is the replacement phone. It would appear to be new. Again, my concern initially was that they would give me a refurbished unit. And you know what, despite anything that anyone says about, oh, well, it goes through the same inspection process and all that, you don't want a refurbished phone. I mean, I would much rather have a new phone than a refurbished phone. So anyway, here it is, all the original factory stickers. I don't hear any creaking like this back adhesive, because the back of this phone is glued on. So if it had been ripped off and reapplied, it might creak a little bit. I'm not hearing any of that. But what I'm going to do is just make sure it turns on right now. It's very cold outside, so as you can see, there's a little bit of condensation going on there. But I'm going to make sure it boots up, and then after I get the phone set up, I'll come back and let you know how everything works. Alright, you can see the phone is booting up. I'm going to wait to remove this sticker actually, because I like to apply a shutter guard for my camera, and it works better if the glass is clean, and it just makes it a lot easier before I pull this whole thing off. But anyway guys, it would appear that the phone is working, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the setup process and come back to you guys when I've done all of that. Alright guys, so I've got the phone fully set up, and I even had a chance to charge the phone, and I can tell you that this unit does not have the charging issue. This despite the fact that I installed the same software update that I thought may have broken my old phone. Now I even have a screenshot here of the software update, just so you know what version it was. It was version 42.02. Now the tricky part here is, again, when you update the software, it's not going to tell you in the settings what version you're actually running. It'll simply say the last security update was September 1st. So it's very important to know what's going on, but keep track of that, and at best I'd say take a screenshot of each version as it comes in, every update that you have. That way you know which version you're on. I did have, again, like I said, the opportunity to charge the phone more than 20%, no problem. Quick charge worked just fine, but there was another update. So this update I had to download and install, and then here's another screenshot I have. Version 50.0. So version 50 also installed, and this update installed right after the last one. So again, two updates. This one also says the exact same thing as 42.02, which is important security updates and general usability. Now, something I have noticed that still seems kind of broken. If you go into settings and you go to the battery, I find that generally the remaining time estimate is not quite accurate. So it's a little high. And then the weird thing also is that it will not give you a estimated remaining time until the battery is at 98%. This wasn't, from what I remember, the behavior of the phone when I first got it. When I first got it, if you unplug the phone, within a minute, it would give you some sort of remaining time. But now, it does not give you a remaining time unless you drop down to at least 98%. And this is something that I noticed after that 42.02 version update. Anyway, it does appear that this phone is fully operational. There's nothing wrong with it. I've checked all the features. I just took it out of the case here. The distance measurement laser works just fine. I did the calibration. The regular camera on the back works great. The thermal imager, we'll open that up just right now to show you. But the FLIR thermal camera works just fine. No issues there. All the settings work and all the calibration settings work. Everything functions just fine, even the high temp mode if we turn that on here. And even the VOC sensor. So if we go here, take a look, it's reading just fine. The humidity and the temperature are just fine. I didn't get any erroneous pinned readings that can sometimes happen when these VOC sensors go bad. So again, it does seem to be working just fine. In addition, the headphone jack works just fine, and I've had no problems with the SIM or micro SD slots. They work just fine. So it does seem like they did in fact fix the problem. I guess not really that difficult though to fix it by just replacing the phone. Again, my main concerns with this whole thing has simply been that this was not a software problem, but in fact a hardware problem, which concerns me because I didn't do anything to my previous phone that is outside the realm of normal smartphone use. I didn't really even drop it very much. Hardly from a distance more than this much. Basically, we're talking, I never really dropped it more than 2 feet. And I never exposed it to exorbitant amounts of water. Even when I washed it, it was very light rinse. You know, it was hardly a dunking or a submersion or immersion even. So I definitely didn't heavily abuse this phone, and yet it seems like the charging port or some part of the circuitry either suffered some mechanical damage internally through, I don't know, a failure of a solder joint, or it just died. The module or something just died because, again, it was definitely a hardware problem. So anyway, guys, I hope you've appreciated this. If you have an S61, be sure to leave your comments below if you've experienced the same thing. I hope you haven't, but if you have, I'd love to know about it. Give me a like if this was helpful, and get subscribed if you want to see more S61 content.